Good morning, everybody. So we're on sort of that last day of the week, I'm calling it sort of cardio, but we're going to do sort of multiple movements, right? Sort of compound movements, something a little different. So I'm going to put these 4 exercises together. I'm going to work 40 seconds, rest 15, 4 exercises per round, and do it a few times through. So I wouldn't say these are super high intensity intervals, but they're definitely enough to get that heart rate up, right? You should feel like you're working by the end of each set. So I'm actually going to start the timer. I'm going to try and do this for the full 40 seconds to show you guys what the kind of time frame looks like, and then you guys can actually do it at the same time as me instead of watching it and doing. All right, so we are going to start with a portion of that Turkish get up, kind of staying with the same theme. So
starting your 4-0, 1-5-4-6 workout. Get ready.
So I'm going to start with the weight in one side. I'm going to start in a low kneeling position.
30 seconds. Cycle 1.
And I'm going to
Set 1. 3 steps left.
Start with my knee down on one side, weight up on that same side, shoulder lock back and down, core rigid as I stand, and then controlling my return to the floor. Ideally, so that gong means it's second side, so that's 20 seconds each side, right? Ideally, keeping my eye on the dumbbell, and then really trying to stay connected to the core. And when I get to the top, I'm getting this glute squeezed under each time. Okay, whew. Next exercise, we're going to do what I'm calling a mountain runner. So I'm going to do 2 versions, high and low plank. I'm going to start in my low plank, and I'm just going to run my knees in. I'm trying to keep my hips relatively low, but really trying to get my knees all the way in. So when I've done 20 seconds of low plank, I'm going to go to high plank, which is kind of a more traditional setup for, I'm not calling this mountain climber because we're moving a little bit faster. So I'm going to give ourselves mountain runner. So same thing, shoulders back and down, knees in and slightly out towards the elbow. So 20 seconds of each of those. Third exercise is going to be a variation on a kettlebell swing, except we're going to use dumbbells. It's not a squat. It's all about the hip hinge. So you're going to swing the hips back, come back up, hips back and up, right? It's not a squat up and down. It's really reaching the hips back and then squeezing the hips through. I'm going to keep the elbows close to the body, and it's not about a bicep curl. This is really using the momentum of the swing and getting the hips through. This pushing the weight up in the front, and then we get the weight to the shoulders. Whew. All right, last exercise. I'm just going to use the same dumbbells. You may want to get a slightly heavier set. You do this with a band too, right? I'm going to combine an RDL and a row. So you're going to hinge, row, up and squeeze. Hinge, row, up and squeeze. So this combined, sorry, I got distracted there. This combined with the last one has an overlap. So work with your lighter weight if you need to because of the overlap, but still try and keep the form pretty tight, right? Still no hunching the shoulders, keeping the shoulder blades flat, keeping the back flat, and making the hips hinge back again, right? So really working on that hip hinge, glute squeeze, right? Woo. All right, so that was one round. I'm going to take a slightly longer break in between, maybe 90 seconds, and then I'm going to go through that maybe another 4 or 5 times. Okay, have a good one, everybody. Take care. and try and bring a little brightness into your world today because it's gray and snowy out. Have a good one, everybody.